Prince Harry's latest appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon took an unexpected and brutal turn, leaving viewers shocked and the royal's reputation further damaged. What was initially intended to be a routine promotion of his charitable initiatives quickly spiraled into a tense, chaotic situation as the audience turned hostile, heckling and jeering him shortly after the interview began. Harry, who had planned to discuss his life in America and his future with Meghan Markle, seemed caught off guard when the audience's mood shifted. Boos erupted from the crowd as he talked about raising his children and distancing himself from the royal family. The light-hearted atmosphere that Jimmy Fallon usually maintains quickly dissipated as the conversation veered into more contentious territory, particularly when Harry touched on his departure from the monarchy. Audience members began to shout accusations, with some calling for him to leave the monarchy altogether, while others chanted Meghan's name in a mocking tone. Fallon, known for his upbeat and non-confrontational interview style, visibly struggled to regain control of the situation. His attempts to steer the conversation back to lighter topics were continually derailed by the crowd's rising hostility. The late-night host, clearly uncomfortable, tried to laugh off the outbursts, but the aggressive audience reactions only intensified. Amid the heckling, Harry attempted to defend his choices and his life in America, but the crowd's jeers largely drowned out his responses. Despite his efforts to remain composed, it was clear that the hostility was getting to him. At one point, Harry addressed the crowd directly, attempting to explain the decisions he made for his family, but his words were met with more boos and sarcastic shouts from the audience. The tension reached a boiling point when one audience member stood up and shouted, "Go back to England," sparking a ripple of applause and laughter throughout the room. Fallon, visibly distressed, made a final attempt to salvage the interview. But by then, the damage was done. The crowd was no longer interested in hearing Harry's side. They had turned the interview into a spectacle. Unable to handle the overwhelming negativity, Harry cut the interview short, leaving the set abruptly before his scheduled musical performance. His sudden exit stunned both Fallon and the audience, but the tension in the air was undeniable. The viral moment was captured by multiple audience members, who shared clips of the booing and heckling on social media within minutes of his departure. Once online, the footage spread like wildfire, fueling a media frenzy and renewed debate about Prince Harry's public image in the U.S. Some viewers expressed sympathy for the prince, noting that the audience's treatment was unfair and that he had been trying to discuss meaningful topics. However, a significant portion of the online reaction criticized Harry, accusing him of being out of touch with the realities of everyday Americans and failing to understand why his narrative no longer resonated with the public. The aftermath of the incident proved to be a PR disaster for Harry. Many commentators questioned whether he could ever rebuild his image in the U.S. after such a public humiliation. His attempts to portray himself as a relatable figure who had stepped back from royal life for his family's well-being now seemed increasingly disconnected from public sentiment. The divisive response to Harry's appearance on The Tonight Show mirrors the broader cultural split over his and Meghan Markle's decision to leave the British royal family and establish new lives in California. While some continue to support their efforts to raise awareness about mental health and social justice, others view them as privileged celebrities attempting to profit from their royal titles while distancing themselves from the responsibilities that come with them. For Prince Harry, the episode marked yet another chapter in his turbulent relationship with the public and media. What was meant to be a simple promotional appearance has now left him grappling with the fallout of a disastrous live television moment, further complicating his efforts to rebuild his reputation in America.